Today, some political drama when it comes to the governor's race. Republican candidate Dave Reichert announcing today that he is withdrawing his name for consideration, saying he's no longer seeking an endorsement from the state's GOP party. To be clear, Dave Reichert is still running for governor, but he is joining us now on the phone to discuss this surprising move. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening.
So, Dave, it's a pretty dramatic declaration that you made. Why did you come to this decision?
Yeah, I looked at it as really as a common sense, right thing to do decision, so I didn't feel like it was that dramatic for me. What was dramatic was the antics of the party and party leaders. The party has been taken hostage by a small group of people, and my opponent in the Republican Party had been earlier disqualified, and from the receiving the nomination, my speaking spot had been removed from the calendar. In fact, the vote for the nomination for the gubernatorial spot had been removed from the calendar, and then the entire situation broke into chaotic yelling and screaming. I felt that my best course of action was to just separate myself from this. It was a dishonest, deceptive process, all designed to create an opportunity for their chosen candidate, who was already found to be disqualified for criminal reasons, and they were still trying to find a way to nominate him as the party leader. I am still running for governor. I am still running to beat Bob Ferguson in November, and my task now will be to convince the voters of Washington State that I am the calm, common sense, reasoned voice in Washington State that can bring some resolution to the issues facing the people of Washington.
You were saying, though, that the party was trying to go for Semi Bird. That's the only person you're mentioning because obviously he's the only other Republican in the race with you right now. So what do you say to those people, though, who say, hey, is this the right move for you because, you know, you felt like you didn't have enough votes for an endorsement here for you, that you kind of just bailed out? What do you say to that?
Well, I think that's humorous. That's not the reason at all. The reason is the process, again, was very flawed. Mr. Bird was disqualified for reasons that relate to a criminal charge that he's admitted to publicly, and there was an attempt to disqualify me in this meeting yesterday between 3 and 5 p.m., but they couldn't find any reason to disqualify me, so they removed the entire nomination process from the agenda, which was supposed to be held today. I had a speaking role this morning that was erased, and so the process, then all the rules were changed during the process and proceeding through the day, trying to find a way to endorse a candidate that had been disqualified for criminal reasons. Look, to me, it boiled down to it's a cop versus a crook, and I'm taking the high road. This was a chaotic mess today, and I want to be the candidate for governor who is common sense, reasonable, and moving forward, we're going to be looking for the endorsement of voters across all the party, including Democrats, Independents, and Republicans.
So before, kind of a two-part question here before we have to go. So you are not running as an independent here. You're saying that you're still running as a Republican moving forward. And second, how much of this is tied to former President Trump? Because in our last interview, you did say that you do not support former President Trump. And a lot of this right now, many in your GOP party, they do not like you for that.
Well, they don't like me for a number of reasons. But that's okay. That's just a small faction of the party. We're actually in the last poll. We're 6-1 with Republican voters, and we also have 42% of, I think it's 43% of the 25% undecided voters in the state. Bob Ferguson only has 32% of those voters. So we're appealing to a vast majority of people across the state, and I think that's only going to build. When you show an independent streak and the courage to make the right decision instead of playing along with politics, and here's the difference in campaigns today. Parties now, candidates now, are running to spread fear and spread lies. I have spent a career in fighting fears and fear and being honest and truthful with the people that I've served in the sheriff's office and the people that I've served when I was a member of Congress. So I don't plan on spreading fear, and I don't plan on telling any lies.
All right, Dave Reichert there, running for governor. I know we have a lot more to talk about. That's all the time we have. Thank you for giving us some of your time today.
You're welcome, Hannah. Thanks for having me.